So you guys know how I do. I like to take a minute and kind of wiggle around, stretch it out. So any little movements this morning that feel good right away, just take a moment. Roll your head around, your neck, your shoulders. And then eventually, no rush, but eventually find stillness. So just sitting up nice and tall with awareness. Your Tuesday morning seated meditation. So close your eyes. Take a couple big deep breaths on your own. So just big, huge inhales that fill you all the way up, and exhale out your mouth. So I'm not going to cue you through those big, deep breaths today. Just take them on your own. Take them at your own pace. And then after 2 or 3 big, deep breaths, just seal your lips gently and begin to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. You guys are all familiar with it. So giving yourself a moment to just become more present, to tune in a deeper way to your body, to your breath. Feel the expansion of each inhale as your breath moves all the way down, the length of your spine, the length of your torso. Feel the expansion, the inflation with each inhale. And then each exhale, see if you can take your exhales all the way to emptiness. One of the best ways, I think, to work on patience in our lives is to work on patience with your breath. So slowing it down, not rushing it, being present with it as it happens. Keeping your body soft around it. So see if you can keep your face relaxed, your shoulders relaxed, your spine nice and long. You can stay here in your seated meditation for as long as you want to. When you feel ready to bring in some movement, take your breath with you and come forward onto your hands and your knees. So just like we usually do, hands and knees, tabletop, and start exploring in your own intuitive way. So cat-cows are always a great place to start. Hip circles, child's pose, cobra, up dog. So anything that calls to you, anything that will allow you to create more space, more awareness inside. So even put your awareness in your spine. What's going on there? How does it feel? Put your awareness in your hips and your shoulders. An invitation to close your eyes and just allow yourself to feel rather than thinking. So rather than processing every single little thing through your mind, right now, just let your body process. Feel into it, experience this movement inside of you, this energy inside of you. And then when you're ready, I'm going to say in your next 3 to 5 breaths, so no rush, but just somewhere in your next 3 to 5 breaths, let's find our way into our first downward facing dog of practice. So you can get there in your own time and even in your own way. If you want to transition by moving through a vinyasa, if you want to hover your knees in a hovering tabletop for a moment, then slowly lift your hips up. So lots of ways in which you can move, transition, and just explore. Awesome job, you guys. Once you're back in your down dog, take a few breaths to walk it out. Pedal out your heels. Shift your weight from side to side. Shake your head yes or no. I'm even going to walk my feet out to the width of my mat this morning and just kind of transfer my weight on the diagonal. So as I press into my right hand, I'm pressing back into my left heel and shifting my hips over to the left. And I'll switch it up. So give yourself a moment in down dog. You don't have to worry so much about your alignment for this first down dog. Just feel into it. Notice what feels good for you, what feels strong, what feels open, and then what might feel a little bit tighter than usual, a little bit stiff, maybe sore, tender. So using these first few moments especially to just kind of take an inventory of your body. How you are this morning, how you feel. And even though we've started moving now, don't forget about your breath. So keep it big, keep it spacious, keep it powerful and strong. Let's take just a couple more rounds into our down dog. And then I'm going to leave it up to you. So after you have taken a couple more rounds in your down dog, you feel complete there. Walk your hands slowly to the back of your mat and find yourself in a forward fold with your feet at the back of your yoga mat. So no rush. Eventually forward fold with your feet about hips width distance apart or even a little bit wider. All 10 toes face directly forward, and you can either grab opposite elbows for ragdoll or hands behind your head and interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. Give the back of your neck some traction. So perhaps you sway your upper body from side to side or bob a little bit up and down. Keep your weight forward in your feet, so do not rock back into your heels and lock out your knees. Imagine you're trying to lift your butt up towards the sky. So, like I always say, you've got that invisible rope attached to your belly button right here. It's pulling up. So feel that connection to your center, even in your forward fold. Take a couple more breaths wherever you're at. And then at the very end of your next exhalation, just release your arms, let them hang, and as slowly as you can, roll one vertebra at a time all the way up to stand. Let your arms and your head hang heavy the entire way. And just at the very, very top, your head stacks. And then take a few rolls with your shoulders. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down. If you do prefer to have your big toes touching, little gap in between your heels, then you're welcome to adjust your stance. Eventually, roll your shoulders back and down. Keep them there. Open your palms to face forward. So open and receptive. Notice how you are standing. Stand with awareness, with intention and attention. Root down through your feet. Draw up through the crown of your head. Broaden your shoulders, tone your low abdominals ever so slightly, and neutralize your pelvis. So you're not sticking your butt out, your hips aren't coming forward. Pause and just feel what it feels like to be in optimal alignment in your body. Close your eyes, feel it from the inside. If there is any sort of intention that you want to bring into your own practice today, take a moment to feel into that. Breathe it in, embody it, visualize it, whatever resonates and makes sense for you. Next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. Breathe that intention into your body. All the little spaces, hold. And then big open mouth sigh, send it out into the universe. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, lead with your heart, hinge at your hips, take a slow swan dive down, forward fold. With your inhalation, lift up halfway, spinal extension. So get all the rounding out of your back, stick your butt out behind you. Exhale, let it go. Press into your feet, lead with your heart to rise. So come through your halfway lift and continue to rise. Reach up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do one more round just like that. Inhale, high mountain, stretch tall. Exhale, slow swan dive, so no rush. Traction out your spine, then let it go. Forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bow, draw your belly button in and up. Feel that connection to center. Use it, rise up. Inhale, arms to the sky. Stretch super tall. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale, hands behind your back. Either interlace your fingers, or if that's too much, you can grab opposite elbows instead. Everybody roll your shoulders back and down. If you want more, press your palms together as well. Only if it's available to you. Start to reach your hands back away from your body. And then even knuckles down, heart up, hips gently forward. Take one more inhale wherever you're at. Keep your clasp or keep holding opposite elbows. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Take it all the way down, forward fold. Keep your fingers interlaced or grabbing opposite elbows. Halfway lift with your inhale. So lengthen your spine, telescope your ribs, back muscles, hug your spine. Exhale, fold. See if you can allow your hands to stay in this position for about 2 more breaths. So even if it's uncomfortable, breathe into it. Let your neck relax, maybe bend your knees a little bit more. See if you can lift your butt higher, so feel that rope pulling up on your belly button. See if you can lift your knuckles higher. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to your low back first, then release your clasp. Let your arms hang, maybe give them a gentle shake out. And then slowly just start to crawl your hands forward. Come into plank position. So wrists under shoulders, spread your fingers wide. Hips level with shoulders. If you want to come to your knees at any time, you can. Take an inhale, rock slightly forward, start on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower just halfway down. Strong arms, strong belly. Inhale, press back up, high plank. Do that again, little rock forward, lower halfway. Try to keep your shoulder blades hugging your spine. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Inhale, press back up. And then exhale this time, slow as you can go, all the way to your belly. One strong straight line. Inhale, baby cobra to begin with. So just lift your chest using back strength, no arm strength. Pick up your hands and reach them back towards your heels. Keep the tops of your feet rooted to the ground. So rather than floating your feet and using your butt and your leg strength, just use the strength in your back to lift your heart. Back muscles hug around your spine. Imagine your elbows are magnetized. Try to squeeze them closer together behind you. So feel all that strength in your back body. Keep the back of your neck long, gaze slightly down. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Spiderman Cobra, bring your hands out wide so they're framing your mat. Lift your fingertips, elbows face the sky. Inhale, lift your chest. Now, exhale, twist to your right, dip your left shoulder down. Should feel good. Inhale, come back to center. Heart lifts, belly tones. Exhale, twist to your left, right shoulder dips down. Inhale, bring it back to center. And as you exhale, let it go. Press up and back, however you want to get there, downward facing dog. This time you've got about 5 breaths, and do focus just a little bit more on your alignment. So really feel into your body, feel into your muscles and your joints. Make sure your fingers are really spreading wide. Make sure your hands are at least shoulder width distance apart. And then broaden through your shoulders. So external rotation through your shoulders, like you're trying to move them out away from your ears. Good, you guys. Lift from your center. So like you've got that invisible rope pulling up, tugging back. Couple more rounds. So as you press your hands into the ground, lift your hips higher. See if you can feel more length underneath your armpits and in your side bodies. So these spaces that you don't even notice, start to bring awareness to them. Start to create more space where there was not space before. Take one more inhale. Exhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Once you have arrived, spinal extension, breathe in. Exhale, let it go, breathe out. Now from the press of your feet, let's take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good job, my friends. Inhale, arms reach up. Now listen, this time we're going to pause here, root into our right foot, float your left knee up, standing staff. So balancing on your right foot, hug in with your inner thighs, flex through your left toes. Focus your gaze, so find your balance here first. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, warrior three, hands can come to your front thigh. So I'm gonna bring my hands to my right thigh as I hinge at my hips and extend my left leg back. So think parallel to the ground with your spine and with your back leg. Hips are square. If you've got your hands on your front thigh and you want more, maybe extend your arms forward. Everybody pull navel to spine. Breathe down into your low back. Take one more big deep breath. We'll land in crescent lunge. So end of your exhale, step your left toes all the way to the back of your mat. Reach your arms to the sky. Pause here. If you need to adjust your legs, take a moment to do so. So settling into your crescent lunge. Tone your low belly. Squeeze through your inner thighs. And then breathe. Soft through your face. Take one more inhale. Maybe reach a little higher. Exhale, hands behind your back. Either interlace or grab opposite elbows. It's up to you. Roll your shoulders back and down. If you can, start to reach your hands back. And then here's your next option. Bend your back knee so it hovers. Maybe add a little back bend. So lift your heart. Puff up through your heart. Knuckles reach slightly down towards the ground. Low belly stays strong. Back knee is hovering. Take one more big deep breath. Inhale, come back up to your crescent lunge, arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. And then we're just going to straighten and bend our front leg a few times. So if you have blocks or books or water bottles you want to place your hands on, awesome. If not, fingertips on the ground. As you exhale, straighten your front leg, nose towards your knee, forehead towards your shin. As you inhale, bend your front knee, gaze forward, maybe you even let your hips move towards the ground. Back knee kisses the ground. Exhale, straighten. Nose towards your knee, forehead towards your shin. Couple more times, and you can move at your own pace. You don't have to move exactly with me. Just move with your breath, straightening and bending. So work the mobility in your legs, work the length in the back of your right leg. Next time you come into a lunge position, stay there. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot and walk your right foot all the way out to the width of your mat, maybe even a little bit forward. Back knee comes down gently. So if you're on carpet like me, you're probably fine. If you do need extra cushion, grab a blanket, pillow, sweatshirt, anything. Put it underneath your back knee. So you're going to start to lower your upper body towards the ground, but make sure you don't lean over to the left. So you're pushing your weight, gently coaxing your weight to the right, and then lower your upper body down. If you come down to your forearm, see if you can come down to your right forearm first. And as long as you don't collapse over to the left, you'll stay in the integrity of the pose and you can really just soften into it. So take some big deep breaths down into your hips. Soft through your face, unclench your jaw. You've got about 4 more rounds. So allow sensation to be there. Breathe into it, even move towards it. So as long as it's not a stabbing, jabbing pain that you can point one finger and say it hurts right there, as long as it's more of a range of discomfort, that's completely fine. It's just your muscles stretching, just tightness in the body. So breathe into it, soften around it. Take your last couple of breaths. You can exhale out your mouth if you want to. Good work, my friends. And then lift back up to your hands. Plant your palms, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. So if you had your mat folded or anything under your knee, you can move it off to the side. Now step your right foot back so you're in a plank position. Right hand is your base, roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot, side plank, Fascisthasana, left arm to the sky. So lift your hips as high as possible. If you want to come down to your right knee as a modification, no big deal, please feel free. Option to reach your left arm forward, so really stretch and lengthen your left side body, maybe even float your left leg up. So your fullest expression of your side plank. Couple more rounds. Everything is strong, and then soften around it. Find a little bit of sweetness to the pose. Soften your face. One more big inhale. Now listen, exhale, plank position. Lower down to your forearms, forearm plank. We're going to hold here for about 3 to 5 breaths. So elbows under your shoulders. Press down through the belly of your forearms. Spread your fingers. Press down especially through thumbs and index. Draw your belly button in and up. Breathe into your back body. Soften your face. So all the strength work that's happening, can you soften around it? Soften your outer shell. Take 2 more breaths. Stick with me. After those 2 breaths, Dolphin Pose. So try not to let your elbows drift apart. Walk your toes in and lift your hips as high as you can. Imagine that invisible rope. It's pulling up on your belly button. Press your heart back towards the wall behind you or whatever you've got behind you. But keep pressing down through your forearms. Keep hugging in with your upper arms. Keep breathing. Slow, deep breaths. Try not to let your thumbs or index fingers lift, so press down firmly through your inner wrists. Take a couple more rounds. If you want to take your right leg to the sky or play with some hops towards forearm stand, you're welcome to. Good work, my friends. Last big breath. Press the ground away. Lift from your belly button. End of your exhale. Both knees to the ground. Take a hero's pose. So sitting back onto your heels like a seated meditation. You can either stay here or option to turn it into screaming toe pose. So knees about hips width distance apart. Lift your hips, tuck your toes under, and then sit back onto your heels. Sit up nice and tall, toes tucked under. Breathe. And if you are in screaming toe, as that heat starts to build in your feet, just breathe into it. Soften around it. Allow that sensation to be there, that discomfort to be there. Wherever you are at, regular heroes or screaming toe, about 3 more slow, deep breaths. So slow down your breath. Big, spacious inhales. Longer, stronger, more powerful exhales all the way to emptiness. Good work, you guys. Last breath if you want. Exhale out your mouth. And then tabletop position. If your toes are tucked, untuck them and give them a nice little tap against the ground, little pitter patter against the ground. Now, bring your left leg out to the left, so it extends out to the left with your toes facing forward. So if I turn towards you, this is what it looks like. It's like a half wide-legged straddle position. Left leg out to the left. Reach your right arm out to the right and all the way up to the sky. Take a big inhale, reach as high as you can. exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. So reach through like you want to grab hold of your left big toe with your peace fingers. Maybe some of you even do. So if you want to grab your big toe, that's a variation. Otherwise, wherever you want to go, maybe left arm wraps behind your back. Maybe you press your left fingertips into the ground, gaze underneath your left armpit. So lots of options. Big breaths into your back body, upper back, mid back, low back. Slow, steady breaths. Exhale all the way to empty every single time. About 3 more rounds here. Good job. If you do happen to have your left hand lifted, everybody bring your left palm back to the ground. And then next time you breathe in, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up, gaze up, open up, and set your right hand down. Pick up your left foot, swing it all the way over so it comes off the right side of your mat, tiptoes to the ground, off the right side of your mat. And then turn with your entire upper body and gaze back over your right shoulder. Look back at your left toes. So you're not just turning with your head, neck, or eyeballs. You're turning with your entire upper body. Lengthen through your left side. Press down through your hands. Draw your belly button in and up. 1 more round. And then come back to center, tabletop position. And let's take it back to downward facing dog. Strong, spacious, powerful Ujjayi breath. Next inhale, take your right leg to the sky. So take a moment to just stretch and lengthen, and then without collapsing into your left side, so don't collapse into your left wrist, shoulder, or hip, open your right hip, bend your right knee, reach your right knee out to the right, and then up towards the sky. So squeeze your outer right butt cheek and stack your right hip on top of left. Take 1 more inhale, active through your right foot. Stay here if you'd rather, otherwise exhale, right knee, left elbow. Draw navel to spine, little twist. Inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg to the sky, stretch it out. Exhale, right to right, as high as you can get on your right arm. Add a push-up if you want to, don't let your butt drop down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Now everybody exhale, knee to your nose, so scoop out your belly. Softly step your right foot to the top of your mat. All right, this time we're gonna rise into a warrior 2 position. So pivot your back heel down and then windmill your arms up. Settle in. So front heel intersects your back arch. Your right butt cheek wraps underneath you. Get your front knee to track towards your pinky toe, so make sure your knee isn't falling inwards. Neutral pelvis. So a lot of times, people like to shoot their left hip forward and then kind of rotate it forward. Let your hips be open. Pelvis neutral, little tone in your belly. Bend deeply into your front knee, but keep pressing into the inner and outer edge of your back foot. Next time you breathe in, reach forward as far as you can, and then tip it over, side angle posture. So right hand towards the ground, left arm towards the sky. If you want to, you can bring your right elbow to your right thigh. Just make sure you're not putting a lot of weight there. It's just there as a little support. Option to go wherever you'd like. So I'm going to reach my left arm forward and lengthen my left side. If you want to move into a half bind, a full bind, if that's in your practice, go for it. You've got about 3 more breaths. Keep wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you. Keep your hips open. Pull navel to spine so you're still connected to your center. Back leg strong and powerful. Back foot rooted. Big, deep breath. So make sure you can breathe just as big as you could a moment ago. Your breath shouldn't get stuck anywhere. Take 1 last round. Nice work, my friends. Inhale, come back up to your warrior two stance. Straighten out your front leg. Pivot all 10 of your toes now to face towards the left side of your yoga mat. So feet parallel. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands behind your back, either interlace or grab opposite elbows. Shoulders roll back and down. Maybe reach your hands back away from your body. Lift your heart, knuckles down. Belly stays toned. Press your hips ever so gently forward. One more in-breath. Now keep your hands clasped or keep grabbing opposite elbows. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Lead with your heart. Dive down. Wide-legged forward fold. See if you can take at least 2 breaths with your fingers interlaced. And then if you want to let that go, feel free. You've got about 5 breaths total. If you are holding your forward fold, let your neck relax. Let your head be heavy. If you want to release your clasp at this point, you're welcome to. I'm going to keep mine a little longer. So completely up to you. Wherever you're at, make sure your breath is there with you. Make it big, spacious, powerful, strong. Last couple of rounds. Good work, my friends. If you do still have your hands clasped, bring them to your low back and release your clasp. Everybody inhale, halfway lift. So fingertips just on the ground, lift halfway, lengthen. Now crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward, back into a low lunge position. And I bet you guys can guess where we're going. Standing split. So right foot roots, left leg lifts. Spread your left toes, make your left leg strong. Draw up from your belly button. Relax your neck, let your head hang. We're not going to hold this too long. Take just one more big inhale. See if you can lift your left leg a little higher. Now listen carefully. Exhale, left knee to your nose. So you're still balancing on your right foot. Just curl in. Now stay balanced on your right foot. Can you bring your hands to your heart? So balancing on your right foot. With your hands at your heart, press into your right foot, and can you rise all the way back up to standing stance? So right where we began that entire sequence, left knee lifts, arms reach. Option to extend your left leg forward if you want more. Hold here, hug in with your inner thighs, stand tall. Hold for 3, 2, maybe reach higher, and 1. Let it go. Give your body a nice little shake out. Shake, shake, shake. And then mountain pose, arms by your sides, palms open and receptive. Close your eyes, stand well in your body. So root through your feet. Draw up through the crown of your head, broaden through your shoulders. Neutralize your pelvis. Big, huge inhale, fill up. Maybe come back to your intention. Visualize it in all the little spaces inside of you. Big open mouth sigh, send it out. Let's move through a vinyasa. Inhale, arms to the sky. Add a little baby back bend, cactus your arms, open it up. Inhale, arms re-extend, realign. Exhale, take it down slowly, forward fold. So breath to movement for just a moment. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, your variation. So feel free to come to your knees if you'd like. Inhale, back bend of your choice. If you want an extra breath or 2, you can take it. And then eventually downward facing dog. So take just a couple breaths in your down dog, kind of resetting, feeling the difference between right side and left side. Maybe reconnecting to your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, look to the top of your mat, step or float, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Fold in. Press into your feet. Let's take it all the way up. Inhale, arms to the sky. Now listen, root into your left foot. Float your right knee up into space, standing staff. So right knee is lifted, inner thighs hug in. Focus your gaze. Make your right foot active, so flex, point, or floint. As slowly, with as much control as possible, we're going to transition into our warrior three with our hands at the front of our left thigh. So hinge at your hips and start to kick your right leg back. Hands to your left thigh, lengthen your spine. Spine parallel to the ground, back leg parallel to the ground. Inner thighs face each other, hips are square. Breathe down into your low back, draw your belly button in and up. You can stay here, make sure your back leg is strong and powerful. Press with your back foot. If you want more, arms can reach forward, biceps frame your ears, make sure your spine doesn't round. Take one more deep breath, your fullest expression. Crescent lunge is where we'll end up. So right toes to the back of your mat, end of your exhale. Arms reach up, settle in. Take a moment, adjust your stance if you need to. Hips square, inner thighs hug in, belly tones. Soften your face. Feel into the pose. One more in-breath. Exhale, hands behind your back. Either grab opposite elbows or interlace. Shoulders back and down. If you can, start to reach your hands away from your body, back. Now, next option, bend your back knee so it hovers. Think of pulling your back thigh forward energetically. Stay here, or little lift in your heart. Knuckles reach towards the ground. Heart towards the sky. Squeeze with your inner thighs. Soften your face. Give it everything you've got. One more deep breath. Inhale, back to crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down. And remember, if you have blocks at home or anything you want to bring your hands onto to bring the ground closer to you, feel free. As you exhale, straighten your front leg, nose towards your knee, forehead towards your shin. Try to keep your hips square. Inhale, come back into your lunge. You might even let your back knee tap the ground. Hips move towards the ground. And it's okay if your front knee comes forward of your ankle a little bit. Exhale, straighten. Go at your own pace, back and forth. So inhale into your lunge. Exhale to straighten, forehead towards your shin. Hips stay square. Back leg stays strong. Back foot stays strong. Next time you come into your lunge position, don't rush. Just next time you're there, stay there. Hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot all the way out to the width of your mat, and then even a couple inches forward. Bring your back knee down gently. If you need extra cushion, grab it and use it. Okay, so this time, rather than leaning over to the right, encourage your weight to the left. Then start to lower your upper body down. If your forearms come down, see if you can bring your left forearm down first. And then breathe into it, soften around it. If you want to pivot your left toes out to the left a little bit or roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, that's totally fine. So as long as you don't collapse all of your weight over to the right, you'll stay in what's called the integrity of the pose, and you can really just relax into it. Take about 3 more very slow, deep breaths. Just be with sensation, be with discomfort. One last round. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. Rise back up to your hands. plant your hands under your shoulders, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then just work your left foot to the back of your mat, plank position. Now, left hand is your base, roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot, right arm to the sky. Side plank, come down to your left knee if you want to modify, otherwise, hips really, really high like you're trying to create a rainbow shape with your body. Option to reach your right arm forward. Option to float your right leg up. Fullest expression, 2 more rounds. Give it everything you've got and then soften around it. One last inhale. Exhale, plank pose. Now lower down to your forearms, forearm plank. Elbows no wider than your shoulders. Forearms press down. Palms press down, fingers spread wide. If that feels like too much, you can interlace your fingers as a modification. Draw your belly button up towards your spine. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Press down with your forearms and breathe into your back body. Take about 2 or 3 more breaths. So yes, we are challenging our bodies. I promise you are fully capable. Your mind tells you need to stop. Your body can keep going. It's just a few more breaths. Take 1 more big inhale. And then next exhale, walk your toes towards your elbows. Lift your hips as high as possible. Keep pressing down through your forearms. Don't let your elbows drift apart. Hug in with your upper arms. Maybe at any time, if you'd like, left leg to the sky. Got about 3 more breaths. If you want to play with forearm stand hops, feel free. Otherwise, just keep pressing down with your arms, lifting up with your belly, and then soften around it. Breathe into it. Let's take just one last great big huge breath. End of your exhale. Bring it down. So set your knees down. And either, again, hero's pose, so just a kneeling position, seated meditation, or screaming toe pose. Bring your knees hips width distance apart, feet hips width distance apart, tuck your toes under. Make sure your heels don't move out to the side, so hug them towards midline. And just sit back, hips to your heels, nice and long through your spine. Breathe. Slow, spacious, ujjayi breath in and out. Feel it expand and contract. Couple more rounds. Exhale out your mouth at any time if you'd like to. And then hands and knees, tabletop. Untuck your toes and give them that nice little tap against the ground, pitter patter against the ground. From here, we will move into our thread the needle. So right leg extends straight out to the right with your toes facing forward. So again, it's like a half wide-legged straddle position. Take your left arm out to the left, reach it all the way up. You can lift up to your right fingertips if that's helpful. Big inhale, and then exhale, thread your left arm through. So reach as far as you can, and then come down to rest outside of your shoulder, very gently on the outside of your head. Any variation you want to take, big, huge breaths into your back body. Upper back, mid back, low back. Exhale all the way to empty. Give yourself about 3 more rounds. If you do happen to have your right hand lifted, bring your right palm back to the ground. Just the next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm. Reach it all the way up. So take a moment to open up, stretch, and then exhale. Left hand comes down. Pick up your right foot. Swing your right leg all the way across. So your right toes come off the left side of your mat. And then turn your entire upper body. Gaze back over your left shoulder. Press down through your hands. Draw your belly button in and up. Lengthen your right side. Squeeze your inner thighs one more round. And come back, tabletop position, right knee on the ground, and then downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Take a moment, press down through your hands, press up through your left foot. Feel the strength in your right side. Don't change that. So try not to collapse into your right side. Open your left hip, bend your left knee, reach your left knee out and then up. So left hip stacks on top of right. Active through your left foot. Keep pressing down with both hands. Take one more big inhale, lift from your belly button. Stay here if you want, otherwise exhale, left knee, right elbow. Get just as close as you can. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left to left as high as you can get on your arm. Add a push-up if you want to. Don't let your butt drop down. Inhale, press back up. Reach, lengthen. Everybody exhale. Knee to your nose. And then step your left foot forward. Warrior 2 stance this time. So back heel pivots down. Windmill your arms up. Settle in. So neutral pelvis. Your right hip isn't shooting forward or trying to rotate forward. Hips are open, pelvis is neutral. Left butt cheek wraps underneath you. Left knee tracks open towards your pinky toe. Next time you breathe in, reach forward. As you reach forward, stay rooted through your back foot. Now tip it over, side angle. Any variation you want to take. So if left elbow to left thigh feels best for you, stay there. I'm going to reach my right arm forward and lengthen my right side. So I like to imagine that I'm trying to rotate my heart to look up at the sky. If you want to take the half or the full bind, go for it if that's in your practice. Make sure you keep everything open. So in order to get into your bind, you don't want to have to round and look down at the ground. You want to keep your heart nice and open. Last couple breaths. Keep pressing into your back foot, back leg strong. Bend into your front knee. Track your knee towards your pinky toe. Last round, wherever you're at. And then press into your feet. Rise back up. Straighten your front leg. Pivot all 10 of your toes to face towards the right side of your mat. So wide-legged straddle position. This time, inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. And then side body stretch up and over towards the back edge of your mat. Lengthen through your left side. Pelvis stays neutral. Your butt's not sticking out. Your hips aren't pressing forward. One more round. Inhale back to center. Reach up. Exhale other side. Left hand to left hip. Now reach forward. Breathe into your right side body. Feet rooted and strong. One more round. Inhale back up, reach up. And as you exhale, just a little baby back bend. Cactus your arms, bottom tips of shoulder blades squeeze, puff up through your heart. Inhale, realign, re-extend. Now exhale, stick your butt out behind you. Heart leads, take it all the way down. Wide-legged fold, absolutely anywhere you want to go, about 5 breaths. So big, spacious breaths. Use use your breath to go deeper into your own body. There is no right or wrong. Notice whatever there is to notice. Feel whatever there is to feel. Good job, my friends. One final round here. And next inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward, low lunge. Then here we go, standing splits, left foot roots, right leg lifts. One-legged forward fold, that's all it is. Hug in with your left inner thigh. Lift from your center, from your belly button. Right leg strong, spread your right toes. So as long as you can make your right leg as straight and as strong as you can make your right leg. Take one more inhale, reach higher. Now exhale, right knee to your nose, but stay balanced on your left foot. So curl in like you're in a little ball, but you're balanced on your left foot. Now, can you bring your hands up to your heart, prayer position? Press really, really firmly into your left foot. Rise all the way up, standing staff. So right back where we began. Right knee lifts, arms reach, hug in with your inner thighs. Stay here if you want. Or extend your right leg forward. Make sure you don't lean back. Nice, Cam, love it. Take one more huge breath. Reach higher, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Shake it out. I think shaking it out is like one of my favorite things, so take some time, shake it out. I always say this, it's like how animals shake after they experience trauma to get all their trauma out. They shake it out. Do that same thing here. Shake it out. Arms by your sides, palms open. Close your eyes, stand tall, stand well, stand with awareness. Next, inhale. Fill up as big as you can. Hold. Maybe come back to your intention. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale, big sigh. Blast it out into the universe. Ha. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, arms to the sky. Let's flow. A little baby back bend as you exhale. Open up. Inhale, re-extend, realign. Exhale, take it down slowly, forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, vinyasa your way. And we will see you back in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose, right shin, top of your mat, set your body down. So right knee a little bit wider than your right hip. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. You guys are all really good at setting yourself up here. Yes. And then once you're ready, you can start bowing forward, humble pigeon. And if there's a different variation that you want to take instead, a seated variation or on your back, the choice is always, always yours. We've got about 7 to 10 breaths, so we'll be here a little longer. Each exhale, just allow your body to soften more around the pose. Patience with each breath, so slowly, no rush. About 3 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth at any time. A rinse, a cleanse. Just a big letting go. Ah. And slowly begin to lift your upper body back up. We'll take it back to 3-legged down dog. So plant your hands, tuck your back toes, press down, right leg back and up. Give it a gentle shake out. And then if you want to flip your dog as a counter pose, if you want to circle your right knee, circle your right ankle, any movement that calls to you, take it. Even if you want to move through a vinyasa, go for it. And then eventually back to downward facing dog and just walk it out for a moment. Pedal it out. Notice the difference between your right leg and your left leg. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose. Nice and softly set your body down. Left knee towards the outer left edge of your mat. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. So we're not trying to force our hips apart and down towards the ground. We want to bring our hips together, plug the femur bones into the socket. So we're set up with integrity. We can actually stretch our muscles. And then when you're ready, bow forward. And even as you bow forward, you're not trying to push your hips down. Pull your left hip back and even slightly up. And then if you want to go deeper, scoot your back knee back a little further. Big breaths. Soften your face. Soften your hands, your fingers. And last 2 or 3 rounds here. When you feel pretty much even on both sides, start to lift back up. And then again, we'll find our way back to 3-legged down dog. So left leg all the way back and up, gently shake it out. Any movement that calls to you, flip your dog, Circle your knee, your ankle, take a vinyasa. And eventually just one final down dog to walk it out. So stretch, move, breathe into all the space that we've created throughout our practice this morning. Take one more inhale into your dog pose. Exhale, set your knees down gently and find your way onto your back. So all the way down onto your back. Once you're there, hug your knees in and just gently rock from side to side. Set your feet on the ground with your knees bent. We're setting up for a bridge pose. So feet about hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward, and your heels are pretty much underneath your knees or just slightly in front of them, not much. Arms by your sides, exhale, pull your belly button down and scoop just your tailbone up. Then inhale, slowly peel your spine off your mat, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top of your bridge, so you're lifted as high as you can lift, work your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. So kind of shimmy your shoulders back and forth. Bend your elbows, robot arms. So palms face each other, fingertips face the sky. Lift your chin up out of your chest, press down through the back of your head and the back of your elbows and your arms. You can stay here and just breathe, or option to come with me. So take one more inhale, press down through the backs of your arms, back of your head, lift your hips higher. Exhale, lower just your butt down. So you want to create a tunnel underneath the middle of your back. Your ribs and your heart lift up as your butt comes down. Inhale, lift your butt back up, and then exhale, butt back down. So just little movement. It's not a lot, but you'll really feel it if you're doing it correctly in the middle of your spine and in your low back. Keep lifting and lowering with your breath. Don't let your knees come apart. Imagine you've got a block in between your inner thighs. You can use one if you have one at home. So each time you lower your butt, you're trying to make that tunnel bigger. You're trying to lift your chest and your ribs higher as you lower your butt down. Keep pressing through the back of your head and the back of your arms, your elbows. This is so good for low back strength and mid back mobility. We want to learn how to move from our mid back, which many people go their entire life and they never really move their mid back very much. They just move their lower and their upper. So we want to wake up the middle of our spine, bring it back to life. Take a couple more rounds, couple more breaths, or a couple more lifts and lowers. If you're just breathing, you've probably been holding it for quite a while, so that's awesome too. Both variations are perfect. Next time you breathe in, hips lift, work your shoulders out from underneath you. And then exhale one vertebra at a time. Slowly lower your spine to the ground. Should feel nice. All right, so keep your feet down, keep your knees bent, but just walk your feet out to the width of your mat. Tee out your arms or cactus your arms against the earth. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Move at whatever pace feels good for you. Back and forth. Perhaps close your eyes. Moving meditation, just noticing, feeling, observing, breathing. Next time your knees fall to the right, let them stay there for about 3 or 4 rounds. And if you want to add a little bit more, outer edge of right foot to the outside of your left knee. Encourage your left knee forward and down. And after 3 or 4 breaths, switch to the other side. When you feel pretty much even on both sides, come back to center. Let your knees just fall in for a moment, so feet wide, knees together. Breathe down into your low back. Breathe down into the base of your spine, into your pelvis. And it may feel really nice to stay right here for a few more rounds. If there are any finishing poses, any final movements that you want to take to complete your own practice for you, then take about 5 to 10 breaths to move through them. And you guys, as you just slowly settle into your final relaxation, I have a reading for you, and it is by Melody Beattie this morning. It's from her book, Journey to the Heart, which is one of my most favorites. It's called Discover the Power of Loving Yourself. Sometimes it is hard to trust life with all its sudden twists, turns, and storms. When something unexpected or painful happens, when we become blocked or frustrated, when life takes a different course than we hoped it would, it is easy to stop trusting the flow of our lives. I didn't ask for this. It's not fair. I don't want this, we think to ourselves. This road isn't leading anywhere, at least nowhere I want to go. Often when we feel life has turned on us, we respond by turning on ourselves. But turning on ourselves doesn't help. In fact, it can compound the situation. It can prevent us from hearing and acting on the very guidance that will lead us through, get us through, and take us to the next place. It can prevent us from hearing our heart. Keep loving yourself. Keep taking care of yourself no matter what. Through the storms, the twists, the turns, and the blocks. Take a moment, breathe deeply. Restore yourself to that sacred place of self-love and self-responsibility. Feel all your feelings. Love yourself until you can hear your heart and what it tells you to do. Love yourself until you find the courage to act on that guidance. Loving yourself is a powerful tool, a powerful force for change. It can reconnect you to creativity, to universal love, to the best possible flow of events within your life. It can and will reconnect you to life's magic. So I will stay here with you for a few minutes and then bring you out of your Shavasana. If you want to turn your Zoom off and just drift off into your own Shavasana, close your practice for yourself when you are ready, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm not offended. So either just drift off on your own or stay with me, relax, let go, and simply soak it all in. Shavasana. breath in. And exhale, let it go. Bring gentle, soft movements back into your body. And as you're ready, roll to either side, fetal position. Stay as relaxed as possible, so let your body stay as relaxed as possible and ease your way up to a seat. So ending right where we began. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes, exhale in your breath. One last time, circle sweep your arms out, around and up. Breathe in and just gather in all the energy from our practice this morning. Bring it all into your heart, hands to heart, exhale. Thank you guys so much for joining me, letting me guide you through your practice. It means so much to have you, even just in this online community, this online space, so thank you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Okie dokie, friends. Love you guys. Hope to see you in real life soon. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Bye, Facebookies. Mikkel, love you. Cece, love you. Whoever else is there, love you.